Incorporating simple daily habits can transform your life in ways you never imagined. Every billionaire you see today was once in your shoes, making the same daily choices. What they did differently was develop habits that allowed them to grow when others stayed stuck. The richest people don't focus on what they can gain. They focus on what they can give, how they can grow, and how they can build lasting habits that fuel their success. Have you ever wondered how small changes can make a huge difference in your life? It might sound simple, but the habits you build today can completely transform your future. In this video, we'll dive into 10 small habits that, when practiced consistently, can lead to powerful, life-changing results. It's not about making big, overwhelming changes. It's about making small, positive shifts that build up over time. Imagine waking up a year from now, looking back and realizing how far you've come, all because of just a few simple habits you stuck with every day. In just 1 week, you can shift your mindset, improve your daily routine, and start seeing progress in areas you never thought possible. So if you're ready to stop wishing and start changing your life, then let's dive in. Number 1, start each morning by making your bed to build discipline. If you're serious about changing your life, don't ignore the small things. The start of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. And one of the smallest, yet most powerful things you can do is to make your bed. It takes less than 2 minutes, but the value it builds in your character is far bigger than the time it takes. Here's what it really does for you. It sends a message to your mind that today will not be lived on accident. Today is going to be lived on purpose. You're not going to float through this day hoping things will work out. You're going to take control, one action at a time. When you make your bed first thing in the morning, you're not doing it for the bed. You're doing it for you. You're giving yourself a win immediately. You're building order in your environment and order in your thinking. And the way you do one thing, especially in the morning, affects how you do everything else throughout the day. It's not about perfection. It's about preparation. That small habit becomes a mental trigger. You start seeing yourself as someone who finishes what they start, someone who cares about the little things. Because if you can't take care of your bed, what makes you think you'll handle pressure at work, or manage your time well, or treat others with excellence? I've seen it in hundreds of people. They say, "Jim, I want to be more disciplined." And I ask, "How do you start your day?" And it always reveals everything. If your first decision of the day is to delay, skip, or say, "It's not a big deal," then your mind takes that and runs with it. The rest of the day becomes a chain of small compromises. But when you make your bed, you teach your mind something very different. You say, no matter what's going on, I control how I begin. I control the start. Discipline is not just about big life goals. It's about consistency in the small daily choices, the things nobody sees, the choices that aren't flashy. Making your bed doesn't earn you a medal, but it creates a rhythm of order in your world, and that rhythm builds trust in yourself. You might say, "But Jim, I don't see how something so basic could make a difference." That's exactly why most people don't do it. They underestimate what it builds. Most people want transformation, but they don't want the repetition. They want the result, but not the discipline that creates it. And that's where they lose. They wait for big moments to start changing. But change doesn't happen in big moments. It happens in the small moments repeated daily. When you stand up in the morning and fix your bed, you've already practiced responsibility. You've already taken care of your environment. You've already proven that today you're not just going to react to life, you're going to lead yourself. And that leadership starts in your own room, in your own mind. People spend so much time trying to fix the world around them, but their personal world is in chaos. They want to improve their relationships, their career, their health, but they haven't mastered themselves. And self-mastery starts with small disciplines. Start with your bed. Don't overlook it. The great part is this habit doesn't require talent. It doesn't need money. It doesn't depend on your background or where you're from. It only depends on your willingness to take responsibility for the first 5 minutes of your day. That's it. No excuses. It's one of the most democratic habits on the planet. Anyone can do it. And here's the secret benefit. It builds momentum. You finish making your bed and your brain says, that felt good. It gives you a boost. You start your day feeling in control. That momentum pushes you to make the next good decision. Maybe you eat a healthier breakfast, or you start your work without procrastinating. It all connects. One right move leads to another. Now, if you ignore the habit, the opposite happens. You roll out of bed, leave the mess, start checking your phone, and suddenly the day is pulling you in every direction. Your brain stays foggy, your body feels sluggish, and your sense of control slips away before you even leave the room. It's not about the bed, it's about who you're becoming. Are you becoming someone who finishes things? Someone who values consistency? Someone who shows up for themselves even in small ways? This habit teaches something deeper. Respect. Respect for your space, respect for your time, and most importantly, respect for your future self. You don't make your bed just for the present. You do it for the person you're building every day. Imagine doing this every morning for 1 month. That's 30 intentional starts to your day. That's 30 days of training your mind to take action. That's 30 days of saying, I decide how my day begins. And over time, those days add up. They shape your confidence, your discipline, your focus. That's how winners think. They don't wait for motivation. They build momentum through habit. They don't look for shortcuts. They master the basics. And making your bed is one of the basics that trains your brain to live with order, with focus, and with purpose. Don't underestimate the power of the small. Everything big starts small, but only when you take it seriously. The truth is, it's not just about discipline. It's about identity. You're not just making your bed, you're casting a vote for the kind of person you want to be. And if you do it enough times, it becomes automatic. You won't even think about it, you'll just do it. And that's when you know discipline has taken root. Start your day right. Do the small thing with great attention. Put the pillow in place, pull the blanket straight, smooth out the edges. It may seem like nothing, but it's a small act of personal leadership. And it's the first step toward building a day that counts. Number 2, drink a glass of water right after waking up to boost energy. You've just woken up and your body is craving one thing, hydration. The moment you open your eyes in the morning, your body has been without water for hours. It's dehydrated, and when it's dehydrated, your energy levels dip, your mind feels foggy, and your ability to focus gets sluggish. The best thing you can do to kickstart your day is drink a glass of water. This is one of the simplest, yet most powerful habits you can create. It takes almost no effort, but the impact it has on your energy levels, your focus, and your overall well-being is significant. Now, I know it sounds so basic, but that's the key. Most people miss out on this because they think it's too simple. They're looking for complicated answers, thinking they need some secret formula to get energized. But they're missing the fact that hydration is the foundation. Think about it. Our bodies are made up of over 60% water. Water is essential for every cell to function, every system to run efficiently, and for us to feel our best. Without it, you're running on empty. Drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning is a natural and effective way to replenish the fluids you lost during the night. This simple action sends a signal to your body that you're taking care of it. You're not waiting for something external to boost your energy. You're doing it for yourself. You don't need coffee or energy drinks to get going. You have water, the most natural and vital source of energy in the world. Water does more than just hydrate you. It helps jumpstart your metabolism, helps flush out toxins that have built up while you slept, and even aids in the digestion process. If you've ever felt sluggish or groggy when you wake up, chances are your body is crying out for water. Your brain needs water to function properly. Without it, you'll feel foggy and slow, even if you've had a good night's sleep. But with that first glass, you're telling your brain, let's get moving. Let's start this day on the right foot. Here's something many don't realize. Water can improve your mood. It's not just a physical boost, it's an emotional one. Dehydration can make you feel irritable, drained, and unmotivated. And when you feel drained, it's easy to give in to that sluggish feeling, to drag through the day, or to put things off. But when you hydrate, your mood lifts. You feel more alert, more alive, and ready to tackle whatever comes your way. It's like flipping a switch in your body. It's an instant energizer. And the best part is, it's completely natural. Let's talk about the long-term benefits. When you make it a habit to drink water right after waking up, it becomes a ritual that you do without thinking. It's a sign that you're starting your day with intention. You're prioritizing your health, and that sends a message to your mind and body that you matter. The small act of drinking water in the morning can have a ripple effect throughout your entire day. It sets you up for success, mentally and physically. You start to feel more focused, more alert, and more energized. You feel in control of your day. But don't just think about the benefits for today. Think about the long-term benefits. When you make hydration a part of your morning routine, you're setting yourself up for sustained energy throughout the day. You won't experience those midday energy crashes, the fatigue that creeps up on you after lunch. Water keeps your energy levels steady, helping you maintain focus and clarity all day long. A lot of people have the wrong mindset when it comes to energy. They look for quick fixes: coffee, energy drinks, sugar to give them a jolt of energy. But these quick fixes come with a price, a crash later on. You feel good for a little while, but then you hit a wall and your energy dips lower than it was before. It's a roller coaster, but water is steady. It's reliable. It keeps you going without any of the highs and lows. And here's the key takeaway. It's easy. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need a special supplement, and you don't need to wait for a specific time of day. You just need to reach for that glass as soon as you wake up. If you can make this simple habit a part of your morning routine, you're giving yourself a foundation for success. You're starting your day with the right mindset. You're showing your body that you respect it, you're taking care of it, and you're setting yourself up for a day where you're functioning at your best. You're not relying on external energy sources like caffeine or sugar. You're fueling your body with what it truly needs. Let's take a moment to think about the people who succeed in life. Do they rely on quick fixes for energy? No, they build habits that work for the long run. They take small intentional steps every day to stay healthy, stay energized, and stay focused. Drinking water in the morning is one of those steps. It's a small action with a big return. It doesn't take much, but the rewards are enormous. So don't wait. As soon as you wake up tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, drink a glass of water. Hydrate your body, hydrate your mind, and get ready to tackle the day with the energy and focus you need to succeed. You'll be amazed at how something so simple can make such a big difference. And the best part? It's free. No special tools, no special products, just you and a glass of water. And that's a habit you can start today. But number 3, write down 3 things you are grateful for every day. Gratitude is one of the most powerful habits you can build in your life. It's simple, it's free, and it has the ability to transform your mindset. But most importantly, gratitude isn't just something you feel, it's something you do. The act of writing down 3 things you're grateful for every day can change your life in ways you can't even imagine. When you wake up in the morning or before you go to bed, take a few moments to write down 3 things you're thankful for. It doesn't matter if they're big or small. It could be something as simple as your morning cup of coffee, the sunshine outside, or the support of a friend. The point is to focus on what's good in your life, no matter how simple it may seem. The habit of writing down gratitude is more than just listing things. It's about changing the way you look at the world. Why is this so important? Because our minds have a tendency to focus on what's wrong. It's human nature to pay attention to problems, challenges, and difficulties. We're wired to look for what's missing or what needs fixing. But when we intentionally focus on gratitude, we shift our attention to what's going right. We start to notice the good things, the blessings, the moments of joy, and over time, this practice rewires our brains to look for opportunities, not just obstacles. Let's talk about what gratitude does to your mindset. First, it opens your eyes to abundance. Instead of thinking about what you don't have, you start seeing all that you do have. You realize that you've got a lot going for you. Even on your worst days, there's something you can find to be grateful for. It could be your health, your family, your home, or even the simple fact that you woke up this morning. When you practice gratitude, you start seeing the abundance in your life instead of focusing on lack. This shift in perspective has a profound impact on how you approach challenges. You see, life will never be perfect. There will always be setbacks, obstacles, and hardships. But when you're in the habit of practicing gratitude, you become resilient. You start looking at problems as opportunities for growth rather than as insurmountable walls. Gratitude gives you the mental strength to face adversity with a positive attitude. But the benefits don't stop there. Gratitude also has a powerful effect on your relationships. When you take time to appreciate the people in your life, it strengthens your bond with them. When you show gratitude, you're not just making a list for yourself, you're acknowledging the good in others. Maybe you're grateful for the kindness of a colleague or the support of a loved one. This doesn't just boost your mood, it lifts the spirits of those around you as well. Gratitude is contagious. The more you express it, the more it spreads to others, creating a positive ripple effect. Now let's talk about the impact on your mental health. Gratitude has been scientifically proven to reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. When you take time each day to focus on the positive aspects of your life, you create a mental shift. Your mind becomes less focused on what's wrong and more focused on what's right. This reduces negative thinking, which is often the root of stress and anxiety. It doesn't eliminate challenges, but it helps you handle them with a clear, calm mind. Gratitude is also an excellent tool for staying grounded in the present moment. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to think about the future or dwell on the past. But when you practice gratitude, you force yourself to be present. You start to notice the small moments of joy, whether it's the laughter of a child, the warmth of the sun, or the comfort of a good meal. Gratitude pulls you into the now. And in doing so, it helps you appreciate life for what it is, not just for what it could be. There's another side to this practice that's incredibly important, the power of writing it down. It's one thing to think about what you're grateful for, but writing it down makes it real. It solidifies the feeling and reinforces the habit. When you put pen to paper, you're giving life to your gratitude. You're making it tangible. You're telling your brain, this matters, and over time, this habit becomes automatic. You'll find yourself looking for things to be grateful for throughout your day, even in the middle of challenges. It becomes part of your daily routine, something you look forward to doing. Another benefit of writing down your gratitude is that it helps you track your growth. As you go through your days, you'll notice how your gratitude shifts. One day, you might be grateful for your family's health. Another day, it could be your career achievements or the simple joy of a walk in the park. Your list will evolve as you do. You'll notice how your mindset shifts from focusing on the negative to embracing the positive. This daily practice of gratitude allows you to see how far you've come. It's a powerful reminder of what you've accomplished and the good that surrounds you. Here's the beauty of this habit. It's easy. You don't need any special equipment or a lot of time. You don't need to be a professional writer. All you need is a pen and paper or your phone or a computer. And you don't need to wait for a perfect moment to start. You can begin right now. Just take a few minutes at the beginning or end of your day to write down 3 things you're grateful for. The simplicity of it is what makes it so powerful. Think of gratitude as a mental muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it becomes. It won't happen overnight, but over time, you'll start to notice a shift in your mindset. You'll begin to see the world through a lens of gratitude instead of frustration. You'll feel lighter, happier, and more connected to the people and experiences that matter most. In fact, try it right now. Think of 3 things you're grateful for and write them down. Don't overthink it. Just let the thoughts flow. It could be something big or something small. It could be something you've taken for granted. The point is, take a moment to acknowledge the good in your life. Gratitude is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to change your life. When you write down 3 things you're grateful for every day, you're not just creating a habit. You're creating a mindset that will lead you to a richer, more fulfilling life. You're not waiting for something to change, you're changing yourself. You're building a foundation of positivity and resilience that will help you face any challenge with a sense of purpose and gratitude. Number 4, plan your top 3 priorities before the day begins. One of the most important habits you can develop is to take a few minutes each morning to plan your day. But not just any planning, prioritize your top 3 most important tasks. These are the things that, when completed, will move you closer to your goals, will help you feel accomplished, and will create momentum for the rest of your day. It's a simple habit that makes a world of difference in how you approach your day, your work, and your life. It's about working with purpose, not just reacting to what life throws at you. Now, why is this so powerful? Because most people wake up in the morning without a clear sense of direction. They let the day unfold however it may, without taking the time to decide what really matters. As a result, they end up drifting from task to task, caught up in the noise and distractions that come with everyday life. They might check their email first thing, scroll through social media, or get bogged down in little tasks that don't move them forward. Before they know it, the day's over, and they haven't made any meaningful progress toward their bigger goals. But when you take control of your day right from the start, everything changes. You're no longer a passenger in your own life. You're the driver. By identifying your top 3 priorities, you set the tone for your day. You decide what matters most, and you commit to tackling those tasks with focus and determination. The key here is prioritization. We all have a million things we could be doing, but not everything is equally important. If you're going to make progress, you need to learn how to focus on what truly moves the needle. The top 3 priorities are the tasks that, if you accomplish them, will have the greatest impact on your day and ultimately your long-term success. Think about it. If you wake up and take the time to write down or mentally prepare for the 3 things that matter most to you, you're starting your day with clarity. You're not wondering, what should I do today? You already know. This simple practice eliminates the chaos and confusion that can come with a long to-do list. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you'll feel confident and in control because you know exactly where to focus your energy. But planning isn't just about having a list. It's about choosing the right tasks. These 3 priorities should align with your goals, your values, and the bigger vision you have for your life. When you start each day with your top priorities in mind, you're aligning your actions with your intentions. You're putting the most important things first. That's how success happens. That's how you build momentum. And let's be clear, these 3 priorities don't have to be massive tasks. They don't have to be life-changing or world-shaking. Sometimes the most impactful actions are the small, focused steps you take consistently. Maybe it's making an important phone call, finishing a project, or writing a few pages of a book. It doesn't matter how big or small the task is, it's about being intentional with your time and energy. Now let's talk about why this works so well. When you prioritize your top 3 tasks before the day begins, you're setting yourself up for success. You're giving yourself a clear roadmap for the day. No more wasting time on unimportant tasks or getting sidetracked by distractions. Instead, you're focusing your efforts on the things that matter most. This focus creates clarity and purpose. It's the kind of clarity that makes you feel confident, productive, and motivated. There's also a psychological benefit to this habit. When you start your day with a plan, you create a sense of accomplishment from the very beginning. As soon as you check off that first priority, you experience a small victory. And that victory fuels your momentum for the rest of the day. It's like a snowball effect. Small actions lead to bigger results. But it all starts with having a clear plan in place. Another important aspect of planning your top 3 priorities is that it helps you avoid burnout. When you have a million things on your plate and no clear idea of where to start, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. You might try to do everything at once, but this leads to stress and exhaustion. However, by focusing on your top 3 priorities, you keep your day manageable. You can tackle what's important without spreading yourself too thin. This ensures that you're not just busy, you're being productive and making real progress. But don't fall into the trap of thinking that planning is the same as doing. Planning is only effective if you follow through on your priorities. It's one thing to make a list, but it's another thing to take action on it. The real power comes when you commit to executing your plan. And that's where the discipline comes in. When you've identified your top priorities, don't let distractions pull you away. Protect your time and focus on what matters. Now let's consider the long-term impact of this habit. When you make it a point to plan your top 3 priorities every day, you're not just setting yourself up for success today, you're building a foundation for long-term achievement. You're creating a routine that will help you stay on track, stay focused, and stay consistent. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. And over time, you'll see how those small, focused actions add up to significant results. You don't have to be perfect at this. Some days you might only get through 2 of your priorities. Other days you might finish all 3 and more. The point is to make it a habit. To create a routine where planning your day becomes second nature. Because when you plan your top 3 priorities before the day begins, you're not just planning your schedule, you're planning your success. This habit doesn't take long, but the rewards are massive. So tomorrow morning, before you get caught up in the rush of the day, take a moment to plan. Write down your top 3 priorities. Focus on the most important things that will move you forward. By doing this, you'll set yourself up for a productive day, a successful day, and a day where you're in control. But number 5, read for 10 minutes daily to sharpen your mind. In a world full of distractions and constant noise, it's easy to let our minds get cluttered. But the most successful people, the ones who stand out, make a habit of investing in their minds. One of the simplest, most powerful ways to do that is to read for just 10 minutes every day. 10 minutes. That's it. It's not a huge time commitment, but the benefits it brings are significant. Now think about this for a moment. What are you feeding your mind every day? Most of us spend a good part of our day consuming content that doesn't add value. Social media, news, entertainment, it's all a blur of noise that doesn't serve our growth. But when you read, you're giving your mind a steady dose of information, ideas, and inspiration that can take you to new heights. Why is reading so powerful? For one, it sharpens your mind. Just like you work out your body to stay fit, reading is a workout for your brain. It keeps your cognitive functions sharp, improves your focus, and enhances your ability to think critically. Imagine reading just 10 minutes every day for a year. That's 60 hours of learning, of stimulating your mind, and of expanding your horizons. In just 1 year, you could read multiple books that will transform the way you think and approach life. But reading isn't just about acquiring information, it's about changing your perspective. Every book, every article, every piece of literature you read exposes you to new ideas. It forces you to think differently, challenge your assumptions, and open yourself to fresh ways of solving problems. The more you read, the more you begin to see the world through different lenses. You start thinking in new ways, considering possibilities you hadn't thought of before. One of the key benefits of reading is that it fosters lifelong learning. The most successful individuals are often those who never stop learning. They understand that the world is constantly changing, and they adapt by staying informed. By reading just 10 minutes a day, you're setting yourself up to continually evolve. You're telling yourself, I'm not done learning yet. There's always something more to discover. This mindset keeps you ahead of the curve, sharpens your skills, and helps you stay relevant in an ever-changing world. But the best part about reading for just 10 minutes is that it doesn't require a lot of time or effort. Think about how much time you spend scrolling through your phone, watching TV, or doing other activities that don't add value to your life. If you took just a fraction of that time and dedicated it to reading, you'd be amazed at how much progress you can make. It's not about reading for hours on end, it's about consistency. A small investment in your mind every day will pay off exponentially over time. And let's not forget the personal growth that comes from reading. When you read books on personal development, business, psychology, or even history, you gain insights that can change the way you live. You start applying new strategies to your own life, testing out ideas, and refining your approach. Reading sparks creativity, motivates you to take action, and helps you build the mindset of a successful person. It's the kind of habit that doesn't just improve your intellect, it improves your life. Now, some people might argue, I don't have time to read. With your values, your goals, and the person you want to become. Every time you choose to think long-term, you're choosing to build the life you truly desire. So, start making those decisions today. Your future self will thank you. On number 8, spend the first hour of your day without checking your phone. How do you start your day? What's the first thing you reach for when you wake up? If your answer is my phone, then you're not alone. Many people begin their days by scrolling through social media, checking emails, or getting lost in the endless stream of notifications that hit the moment we open our eyes. It's a habit that many of us fall into without thinking, but it's one that can seriously affect the rest of your day and, over time, even your life. The first hour of your day is crucial. It sets the tone for everything that follows. If you start your day by immediately checking your phone, you're putting your attention and energy into things that don't belong to you. You're letting the outside world dictate how you feel, what you think, and how you react. And that's a dangerous way to begin the day. Successful people know that the first hour is sacred. They understand the power of starting their day with intention and focus. Instead of immediately diving into the noise of the world, they spend this time doing things that set them up for success. They use this time to center themselves, to plan their day, to reflect, and to work on their personal growth. They guard their first hour with discipline because they know that the way you start your day will influence how you show up for the rest of it. Now think about how your mind feels when you wake up. You've just come from a restful night's sleep, and your mind is still in a state of clarity and calm. But as soon as you pick up your phone, you're bombarded with distractions, emails, texts, news, social media updates, all demanding your attention. Your focus is scattered, your energy is drained, and you're no longer in control. Instead of starting your day with purpose, you've let the world dictate your mood, your focus, and your actions. This is why it's so important to avoid checking your phone in the first hour after waking up. When you skip this habit and focus on more intentional actions, you give yourself a powerful advantage. By avoiding your phone, you create a buffer between you and the external world. You get to decide how you show up today. You choose how you feel, what you focus on, and how you approach the day. What could you do in that first hour instead? Well, there are countless ways to spend this time productively. You could engage in a morning routine that primes you for success. Start by making your bed, as we discussed earlier. It's a simple action that creates a sense of accomplishment and sets a positive tone for the rest of the day. You could take a few minutes to stretch or exercise, get the blood flowing, and wake up your body. You could journal, write down your thoughts, or reflect on the goals you want to achieve. This is a time to get clear, to focus your mind, and to set your intentions for the day ahead. Instead of allowing your mind to get overwhelmed with outside stimuli, you can use this time to nourish your mind with positivity and purpose. Read for a few minutes. Listen to an inspiring podcast. Meditate for a moment and center yourself. These are actions that fill your mind with clarity and peace, and they empower you to approach the day with a sense of control. Let's face it, life moves quickly, and our days are often filled with distractions. We're constantly pulled in different directions. But by protecting your first hour, you ensure that you have the mental space and clarity to take on whatever comes your way. You'll feel more focused, more productive, and more at peace. The difference it makes is enormous. When you spend the first hour of your day with intention, you're setting yourself up for success. You're giving yourself a head start. You're giving yourself time to reflect, to plan, and to take action in alignment with your goals. You're less likely to feel overwhelmed by the chaos of the day because you've already taken the time to ground yourself and get clear on what matters. In contrast, if you start your day by checking your phone, you're giving away your power. You're allowing your emotions to be shaped by the outside world, and you're letting your day be determined by the demands and distractions that others place on you. You're letting the world take control of your time, your energy, and your focus. This isn't just about avoiding distractions. It's about reclaiming your time, your mind, and your energy. It's about being proactive instead of reactive. The first hour of your day is your opportunity to take control, to get focused, and to prime yourself for success. By avoiding your phone and focusing on your own intentions, you're investing in yourself and your future. Let's think about the long-term impact of this habit. If you start every day with focus, clarity, and intention, how do you think that will affect your productivity, your mindset, and your success? Over time, this habit will compound. You'll become more disciplined, more focused, and more in control of your day. You'll start feeling more grounded and more aligned with your goals. And as this positive momentum builds, you'll find yourself achieving more and feeling better about how you spend your time. Now, I know this might be challenging for some of you. It's hard to resist the urge to check your phone, especially in the morning when we're so accustomed to it. But think of this as a challenge and opportunity to take control and reclaim your time. It won't be easy at first, but with consistency, you'll start seeing the benefits. You'll start feeling more in control of your day and your productivity will soar. The goal isn't to avoid technology altogether, it's about creating balance. It's about ensuring that you start your day on your terms, rather than letting the constant barrage of notifications set the tone for you. You get to decide how you show up in the world today. You get to decide where to place your energy, your focus, and your attention. And that starts with protecting the first hour of your day. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, try something different. Keep your phone out of reach for the first hour. Instead, focus on yourself. Reflect, plan, and engage in activities that align with your goals. Start your day with intention. When you do this, you'll notice a profound shift in how you approach the rest of your day. You'll be more focused, more energized, and more in control. Number 9, reflect on your day every night with a short journal entry. At the end of a long day, how do you close it out? Do you simply crash into bed, letting the events of the day fade into the background, or do you take a moment to reflect? The most successful people make reflection a daily practice. They know that true growth doesn't just come from the things you do during the day, it also comes from taking the time to look back on your actions, decisions, and results. Reflection is more than just looking at the things that went wrong or the challenges you faced. It's about reviewing your entire day with the intention to learn, improve, and grow. When you reflect on your day, you create a valuable opportunity to assess what worked, what didn't, and what you can do better moving forward. It's a critical habit for anyone who wants to grow and progress consistently. One of the simplest and most effective ways to reflect on your day is by keeping a short journal. It doesn't have to be lengthy or detailed. It doesn't need to be anything elaborate. A journal entry is simply a moment to put your thoughts on paper and take an honest look at your day. It's a tool for understanding where you succeeded, where you struggled, and how you can improve for tomorrow. The act of writing itself is powerful. It helps to clarify your thoughts and emotions. It allows you to step away from the day's chaos and put things into perspective. When you write, you get out of your head and onto paper where you can analyze things with more clarity. This kind of reflection doesn't just help you understand your day better, it helps you understand yourself better. Let's say you had a challenging day. Maybe you didn't meet all of your goals, or you found yourself getting frustrated or distracted. Rather than simply moving on and forgetting about it, take a moment to write about it. What caused the frustration? What decisions could you have made differently? This doesn't mean beating yourself up. It's about being honest with yourself, acknowledging what didn't go as planned, and figuring out how you can approach things better next time. On the flip side, if you had a great day, it's just as important to reflect on that as well. When you experience success, take the time to acknowledge it. What did you do right? What decisions or actions led to that success? By recognizing and recording your victories, you reinforce the behaviors and mindsets that contributed to that success. This helps you build on your strengths and replicate them in the future. A journal entry doesn't have to be long or time-consuming. You could write just a few sentences, or you could dedicate a full page to your thoughts. What matters most is that you take a moment to pause and reflect. It's your opportunity to step out of the hustle of the day and become aware of your progress, your patterns, and your potential. Successful people use reflection as a tool for growth, and it's one of the most powerful habits you can adopt. By writing about your day, you're not just recording events, you're engaging in a conversation with yourself. You're asking questions, seeking answers, and gaining insight into how you can improve tomorrow. This kind of self-awareness is what separates the successful from the mediocre. It's the willingness to assess, learn, and continuously evolve. One of the biggest benefits of journaling is that it helps you track your progress over time. When you look back at your past entries, you'll begin to see patterns, areas where you've grown, areas where you've struggled, and areas where you've consistently made the same mistakes. This is invaluable information. It helps you stay focused on your goals, identify areas that need attention, and celebrate the progress you've made. But reflection isn't just about identifying mistakes and celebrating successes. It's also about gratitude. When you reflect on your day, you can take a moment to appreciate the things that went well, even if they seem small. Gratitude shifts your mindset from focusing on what you don't have to appreciating what you do. This simple shift in thinking can dramatically improve your outlook on life and increase your overall sense of fulfillment. Another important aspect of reflection is goal setting. When you journal about your day, you're naturally setting the stage for tomorrow. What are your priorities for the next day? What goals do you want to achieve? Reflecting on today's events gives you the clarity to plan ahead with purpose and direction. It ensures that you're not just going through the motions, but actively taking charge of your life and your future. It's easy to fall into the trap of living day to day, just getting through each one without much thought. But when you make reflection a habit, you take control of your personal growth. You don't let life just happen to you. You create the life you want. By reflecting on your actions, decisions, and experiences, you're constantly learning, adjusting, and growing. The key is consistency. It's not about having perfect journal entries or writing profound insights every night. The real value comes from making reflection a daily habit. Over time, it will become second nature, and you'll start to notice the subtle shifts in your mindset and behavior. The more you reflect, the more you'll learn about yourself, and the more you'll be able to make smarter, more intentional choices in your life. So, as you close out your day tonight, take just a few minutes to reflect. Grab a journal, jot down your thoughts, and ask yourself the important questions. What did I do well today? What could I have done better? What did I learn? What am I grateful for? These simple questions are the gateway to greater self-awareness and success. It might seem like a small habit, but over time it will make a huge difference in how you approach each day. Reflecting on your day will allow you to improve continuously, stay focused on your goals, and remain grounded in gratitude. It will help you stay aligned with your vision for your life, ensuring that each day is a step toward the person you want to become. So, take the time tonight to reflect. And then, make it a habit. Your future self will thank you for the insights and growth you'll gain from this simple but powerful practice. Number 10, practice deep breathing for 2 minutes to reduce stress. Life is stressful. We all know that. From work pressures to personal challenges, the demands of everyday life can feel overwhelming. But what if I told you that there's a simple, free, and incredibly powerful tool right at your disposal to manage stress and regain your calm, deep breathing? It sounds so simple, right? Just taking a deep breath. But the truth is, many of us don't realize how shallow our breathing is throughout the day. We often breathe quickly and shallowly, which signals to our bodies that we're in a state of stress. This, in turn, keeps us in a heightened state of anxiety, making it harder to think clearly, make good decisions, and be productive. But by practicing deep breathing, we can reset our nervous system and regain a sense of control, even in the most stressful moments. Deep breathing is one of the easiest ways to bring calm to your body and mind. It's a technique that's been used for centuries in various cultures, and there's a reason why it's so universally recognized. It works. When you take a deep breath, you engage the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for relaxing your body and reducing the fight or flight response that often accompanies stress. Just take a moment to imagine this. You're in the middle of a busy day, juggling tasks, handling a stressful situation, or perhaps even facing an unexpected challenge. Your mind starts to race, your heart rate increases, and suddenly you're not thinking clearly. You're reacting, not responding. But then you stop. You close your eyes for a second, and you take a deep, slow breath in. You hold it for a moment, and then you exhale slowly. You repeat that process, focusing on the breath, letting the tension dissolve with each inhale and exhale. How does that feel? Immediate relief, right? That's the power of deep breathing. In just a few moments, you've shifted your body from a state of tension and stress to a state of calm and focus. Deep breathing is powerful because it's simple. All you need is 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes to reset. And the best part is you can do it anytime, anywhere. Whether you're in a meeting, sitting in traffic, or feeling overwhelmed at work, you can take 2 minutes to breathe and calm your mind. It's a habit you can practice throughout the day, and the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. But let's take a deeper look at why deep breathing works so effectively. When you breathe deeply, you're sending a signal to your brain that everything is okay. You're telling your body that it's safe to relax. This is important because stress doesn't just affect your mind, it affects your body too. High levels of stress can lead to physical symptoms like muscle tension, headaches, and even digestive issues. By engaging in deep breathing, you're helping to reduce those physical symptoms and bring your body back into balance. Deep breathing is also a fantastic tool for managing your emotions. When we're stressed, it's easy to become overwhelmed by our feelings. We might react impulsively, lash out, or shut down. But by taking a few moments to breathe, we regain control. We create space between the stimulus and our response, allowing us to make better decisions and act with more clarity and calmness. You can practice deep breathing in many different ways. One of the simplest methods is to use the 4-7-8 technique. Here's how it works. Inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. This technique forces you to slow down your breath and helps to activate your relaxation response. You can repeat this cycle for 2 minutes, and you'll start to notice a significant difference in how you feel. Another approach is to focus on the rhythm of your breath. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose, and then slowly exhale through your mouth. As you breathe in, imagine filling your lungs with calm and relaxation. As you exhale, imagine releasing all the tension and stress. You can even count each breath to help keep your mind focused and prevent distractions. Deep breathing is not just a tool for stress management. It's also a tool for self-mastery. When you practice deep breathing, you're training your mind and body to respond more calmly and thoughtfully to challenges. It's a practice that cultivates mindfulness and awareness, allowing you to take a step back from the chaos and view things from a clearer, more centered perspective. Think about how many stressful moments you encounter every single day. Maybe it's an unexpected issue at work, a difficult conversation, or a sudden change in plans. If you're constantly reacting to stress without taking a moment to breathe, you're more likely to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or frustrated. But when you take just 2 minutes to breathe, you shift your mindset. You give yourself the space to think, to refocus, and to respond in a more controlled and thoughtful way. Imagine how different your life would be if every time stress hit, you could simply take a moment to breathe and regain control. What if, instead of spiraling into anxiety, you could respond with calm, clarity, and focus? The impact would be incredible, not just on your mental well-being, but on your relationships, your work, and your overall quality of life. The best part is, deep breathing is a habit that anyone can practice. It doesn't matter how old you are, how busy your life is, or what challenges you're facing. Deep breathing is available to everyone, and it's one of the most accessible tools for reducing stress and improving your emotional resilience. The more you practice it, the more automatic it becomes. And over time, you'll start to notice a significant reduction in your stress levels and a noticeable improvement in your ability to manage challenges with calmness and focus. So why wait? Start today. The next time you feel stressed, take 2 minutes to practice deep breathing. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let it all go. Notice the shift that happens in your body, your mind, and your emotions. It's a small action, but one that can have a profound impact on your life. In just 2 minutes, you can change the entire course of your day. It's a tool you can use whenever you need it, and one that can help you build resilience, calmness, and clarity in your life. Number 11, clean your workspace daily to improve mental clarity. You might think that your workspace is just a place where you get things done, a spot to put in your hours, but it's much more than that. Your environment has a direct impact on your mindset, your focus, and your productivity. A cluttered, disorganized workspace creates mental clutter. It distracts you. It overwhelms you. And over time, it becomes harder to think clearly and stay focused on the tasks that matter most. When you walk into a workspace that's messy and disorganized, what's the first thing you feel? A sense of chaos, right? A sense that there's too much going on, too much to deal with. And that feeling spreads into your thoughts. It's hard to stay productive when you're constantly distracted by piles of papers, unorganized files, or a desk full of clutter. You can't concentrate, you can't prioritize, and your mind is pulled in 100 different directions. But when you take just a few minutes each day to clean and organize your workspace, something powerful happens. You create a sense of order and clarity in your environment, and that spills over into your mental state. You set yourself up for success. You walk into a space that's calm, neat, and conducive to productivity. You're not fighting against distractions. You're in a space that supports your focus, your creativity, and your ability to get things done. Think about it. How do you feel when you sit down at a clean, organized desk? There's a sense of calm, a sense that you're ready to tackle whatever comes your way. When your space is clean, your mind is clean. You can think more clearly, make better decisions, and feel less stressed. Every item on your desk is where it needs to be. Everything is in its place, and that's one less thing to worry about. Your environment becomes a tool that works for you, not against you. This might sound simple, but the impact of a clean workspace is profound. It's a small habit that can drastically improve your mental clarity and productivity, and it doesn't take much time. It doesn't have to be an hour-long deep cleaning session. Just a few minutes at the end of each day before you leave your workspace for the night can make all the difference. Put things back where they belong. Sort through papers, tidy up your desk, and make sure everything is ready for the next day. Cleaning your workspace isn't just about making things look nice. It's about creating an environment that supports your best work. An organized space promotes focus and efficiency. When everything is in its place, you can zero in on the task at hand without being distracted by unnecessary clutter. You're not wasting time searching for things, and you're not overwhelmed by the mess. You're ready to work, and you can do so with a clear, calm mind. There's also something deeply satisfying about cleaning and organizing your workspace. It gives you a sense of control, a sense that you're taking charge of your environment and your work. It's an act of discipline. You're saying, this is important. I'm making sure everything is in order so I can do my best work. And that mindset, that attention to detail, has a ripple effect. When you show that level of care for your environment, you're more likely to bring that same level of focus and discipline to your work. Now let's talk about the mental benefits. When your workspace is cluttered, your mind mirrors that clutter. Your thoughts are disorganized, and it's harder to prioritize what's important. But when you clean and organize your workspace, you're also creating mental space. You're clearing away distractions so you can think more clearly and make better decisions. You're making it easier to focus on the tasks that matter most. Cleaning your workspace also helps reduce stress. There's nothing more stressful than sitting down at a cluttered desk and feeling overwhelmed by everything that needs to be done. But when your workspace is organized, you feel more at ease. You don't have to worry about the mess. Your mind can focus on the task in front of you, not the piles of papers or clutter around you. It's a simple habit, but it has a huge impact on your ability to stay calm, focused, and productive. Another important point is that a clean workspace signals to your brain that you're ready to work. It's like a mental cue that says, now it's time to get things done. This transition from an unorganized, chaotic environment to a clean, organized space helps shift your mindset from distraction to focus. It's a subtle but effective way to prepare yourself for a productive day. If you want to build a strong work ethic and boost your productivity, start by taking control of your environment. A clean workspace is the foundation for mental clarity, focus, and efficiency. It's a small habit, but it's one that will pay off in big ways. By taking just a few minutes at the end of each day to clean and organize your space, you're setting yourself up for success the next day. The best part is that this habit doesn't just apply to your work. It applies to every area of your life. When you take the time to organize your surroundings, you create an environment that supports your growth, your success, and your well-being. Whether it's your home, your office, or any other space you spend time in, organizing it is a powerful way to set yourself up for success. So take a few minutes each day to clean your workspace. Make it a habit. When you walk into a clean, organized environment, you'll feel a sense of peace and clarity. You'll be ready to tackle whatever challenges come your way. And over time, you'll notice a shift in your mindset, productivity, and overall sense of well-being. A clean workspace isn't just about tidying up. It's about creating an environment that empowers you to do your best work and live your best life. Number 12, speak kindly to yourself with one positive affirmation daily. How often do you speak to yourself with kindness? I'm not talking about how you treat others. I'm talking about how you treat yourself. Because let me tell you, the way you talk to yourself has a profound impact on your self-esteem, your confidence, and ultimately, your success. The voice in your head is powerful. It can either build you up or tear you down. And if you want to change your life, you have to start with the way you speak to yourself. We've all been there. You face a setback or make a mistake, and the voice in your head starts criticizing you. You're not good enough, it says. You'll never succeed. You always mess things up. That inner voice can be harsh, cruel even. But here's the thing. You don't have to listen to it. You have the power to change the conversation in your head. You have the power to speak kindly to yourself, to encourage yourself, and to affirm your worth and potential. One of the simplest and most effective ways to do this is by using positive affirmations. An affirmation is a statement that reflects a positive belief about yourself, your abilities, or your future. It's a simple yet powerful tool that can rewire your brain and change the way you think about yourself. By repeating positive affirmations every day, you can replace the negative, self-doubting thoughts with thoughts that empower you. Let me ask you this. What if you could wake up every morning and tell yourself, I am capable of achieving great things today? What if every time you faced a challenge, you could remind yourself, I am resilient, I can handle whatever comes my way? How different would your life be if every day you spoke to yourself with the same kindness and encouragement that you offer to others? The truth is, positive affirmations work because they tap into the power of self-belief. When you say something positive about yourself, your brain begins to believe it. It's a simple process of repetition. The more you repeat an affirmation, the more it becomes a part of your mindset, and the more your actions will align with that belief. But here's where it gets even more powerful. Affirmations don't just change your thoughts. They change your actions. When you believe in yourself, you're more likely to take risks, to push through challenges, and to take the necessary steps to achieve your goals. You begin to show up with more confidence and courage. You take on tasks you might have previously avoided. You approach challenges with a mindset that says, I've got this. You don't have to make big, grandiose affirmations to start seeing results. Start small. Choose one simple affirmation that resonates with you and commit to saying it every day. It could be something like, I am worthy of success, or I am in control of my future. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's something that empowers you and aligns with your goals. When you make it a habit to speak kindly to yourself, you begin to reprogram your mindset. Negative self-talk won't have the same hold on you. The more you repeat positive affirmations, the more they replace the negative thoughts that try to creep in. You start to view yourself through a lens of possibility rather than limitation. You start to believe that success is within reach and that you are capable of achieving it. But it's not just about repeating words. It's about believing those words. When you say your affirmation, take a moment to feel it. Visualize what it would look like for that affirmation to be true in your life. For example, if you're affirming, I am confident, imagine yourself walking into a room with your head held high, speaking with clarity and conviction.
Hey everyone, Dailykeymotivation 2025 today speak most powerful thing you can do is to make your bed. It takes less than 2 minutes value it builds in your character is far bigger than the time it takes. Here's when it really does for you. It sends a message to your mind that today will not be lived on accident. Today is going to be lived on purpose. You're not going to float thoughts think they happening things will work out. You're going to take control, one action at a time. When you make your bed first thing in the morning, you're not doing for the bed, you're doing for you. You're giving yourself a win immediately. You're building order in your environment and order in your thinking, and the way you do one thing, especially in the morning, affect how you do everything else throughout the day. It's not about fashion, it's about profession. That's a small habit becomes a mental progress.